Okay, I had said I would get on and make a video soon after the last one about how things are going, update the SEER symptoms. Don't really want to do that, and I haven't done it yet. So I'm not on here to talk today about the symptoms, that I still have plenty of symptoms. I'm actually on here just to say something positive that has happened. Forget the symptoms, I'm in a terrible state financially at the moment. It's ridiculous. But despite our little emergencies and stresses and unhealthy with the symptoms, I had another benefit that I am assuming is from the carnivore despite the SEERs. So this is going back lots of years. I guess this was going on, that I don't seem to breathe as well as I should. And it got a little worse each year, I guess. It's kind of hard to say since it was so gradual that I didn't really know. I don't know. I didn't really know how bad it was, and I don't even know now, was it as bad as it seems like it was? Sometimes things seem like they're getting better, and then you realize, oh, it was worse than I realized. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, is it's getting better. So there's a kind of breath work people can do called Buteyko breath work, which comes from a guy from Russia. And I heard about it several years ago. This is certainly before 2020, but I forget for how long before. Maybe might have started in 2016. I might have started in 2018. I don't know. But I did do occasionally, trying to remember and work on it daily, to do Buteyko breath work. Never took one of the classes. I've never spent any money on it. I just got it off of the few exercises I could find on YouTube videos. And then I would always let it go by the wayside. And now, because it's so many years later, it was really fairly rare I would work on it. But in recent years, still it would come up sometimes for a few days at a time. Sometimes a few weeks would go by before I'd do it again, that I would just do a little bit of some of the basic principles of the fact that you're supposed to breathe into your stomach and not into your chest. You're supposed to keep your chest still. And part of the idea here is, like, if you see a healthy infant sleeping, it'll be their stomach that's moving, not their chest. So I've worked on this some over the years. Like I said, it's not very consistent. It's not anything that I can claim I ever made much progress with. But it did help sometimes with things that were going on in the moment. Like if you need to calm your breathing when you're feeling stress. And when I've had sinus things going on and symptoms from that, it can help with that. So there's ways you can use it. And I did use it at least just a little bit. A little bit. Anyway, from all this babbling about the backstory, I've done some Buteyko breath work. And I was always aware that it's kind of weirdly hard. Like, it shouldn't be hard to breathe, but couldn't really make my my diaphragm lower easily some of those times like I thought I should be able to. It always felt so stiff, and I wasn't terribly worried about it. It's more in retrospect that I'm like, oh, that was worse than I knew. But now lately, sometimes I'm having where it just naturally seems to do it, especially it's happened sometimes when I'm waking up in the morning, that I wake up and it's like the first breath I notice, I take a deeper breath and my diaphragm just goes way, way down. Like I can intentionally take a deep breath when I first wake up, and it feels like I'm pushing my lungs all the way down into the pelvic floor, and it feels like it's like pushing it all the way back, like everything in my abdomen moved out of the way, and the lungs just filled out. Everything back, pushing on the kidneys all the way down into the pelvic floor, etc. It's just crazy how much it feels like, and it feels good when it happens. Like, it feels like I can just really get this incredible deep breath thing happening. And I'm wondering, I feel like this must have been going on pretty nearly all my life. I'm 55. Obviously, I might not remember enough to say, was it happening up until I was 5 or 6 years old? But let's say about 50 years, I don't think my diaphragm moved like that most of my life. I don't remember ever taking breaths like that. And this started while I was in Tampa. That it happened a couple of times while I was there. It happened again this morning. It's happened like every few days. It'll happen that I notice it as soon as I wake up. And I'm taking that to mean that when I wake up, I have been breathing properly into my stomach while I've been asleep, which is pretty exciting to me to think. I'm like, whoa, I might be breathing right. That's so nice. I don't necessarily keep it that way all day. When I think about it, I can make it happen usually. But sometimes it still feels a little stiff if I try to work on it during the day. So I don't know. I'm kind of excited about this. How can I describe the way it feels now? I clearly do not have any expertise. I don't have, even from having taken some anatomy classes in my lifetime and really enjoyed them, I don't have any way to describe this or explain it. But I am going to give the credit to the carnivore diet. And to me, I'm just going to describe it as if something has come unstuck And now my diaphragm moves so much better than it ever did for a million years now. So I'm very excited about the diaphragm thing. It's just really, really great for me. And then I have to go back to just praying and praying and praying about our current financial emergency, which is actually really bad. I'm pretty upset about my finances, but there's always things to be thankful for. God is a good father. And I'm going to keep begging him for the financial thing, and I'm going to thank him for the diaphragm thing. I'm going to keep on trying to keep my diet as good as I can, even though I know it's not exactly where it would be if I were doing what I thought was best for me right now. But I don't know, it's carnivore or carnivore-ish. It's sort of meat-based, whatever, animal-based. I'm staying as close to that family of things as I can, despite whatever symptoms I still get and despite the financial issues. I did do, I think I already mentioned it, that I had done a fast. Yeah, that was what that last video was about, was that I had done a fast. And now I can't really just fast all the time. I'm not in a place where I could do fast for a month or anything to help fix these finances, but I did it for a few days, and now I'm trying to get back on track financially just by the grace of God. So prayers would be appreciated. That's all I popped in to say was the diaphragm thing. God bless you. Y'all have a good day.